The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a zero becomes a one, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD BLACK NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe SSD performance. The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a zero becomes a one, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD BLACK NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe SSD performance. The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a zero becomes a one, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD BLACK NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe SSD Performance. The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a zero becomes a one, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD BLACK NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe SSD performance.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD BLACK Esports Club Pro League for Rainbow Six Siege, supported by Ubisoft and in association with ACT Fibernet and AFK Gaming. I'm your host, Blackjack, and joining me is my co-host, Baba Gusta, and our admin, Eisen, as we are here for the first stream match of the night, a very late night, and that is, of course, Demas Force versus Kira Esports today on a Division 1. Week 2 has begun, admittedly a little late, I know, for all of our viewers at home, but sometimes, trouble is what it is. With all that being said, there's some more interesting information here for all of our viewers at home. This match is going to take place on the very infamous and very rarely played map of Theme Park. A very interesting match coming up to your screens right now, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you think, Baba Gusta?
I mean, absolutely, Jack. With the map Theme Park, we'll actually get to see what kind of new strategies does this both team will perform. Starting out with the ban phase on a map like Theme Park, maybe we might be able to see a bans like either a Nomad or could be a Thatcher ban, quite standard, because on a map, on these specific maps, especially sites like the first floor throne room, the second floor initiation and office, there is a dire need to open up those walls, or else getting access to that room is going to be a difficult situation. And starting off with the first bans, we are going to be seeing a Thatcher ban. I mean, known for the fact that he has that EMPs to make sure that the walls are the normal reinforced walls are not electrified, or he can be able to take out any utilities. I mean, not just take out, but also he can be able to just disable them for a certain amount of time. Second ban comes in, and it is going to be a Nomad. Not a bit of a surprise here, because his her air jabs proves to be quite efficient when it comes to delaying any push or flanks coming in from the defenders. So taking her out would give the defenders more of a breathing time for them. The first ban comes in on the side of defense from Kira Esports, and it is going to be the Kaid. Now, his Electro Claws, we've known how devastating it is when it comes to eliminating one of those utilities from the attackers, especially the Thermites, exothermic charges, the Hibanas, X-Kairos pellets, and also the Aces Selma breach charges. And the last ban comes in, and it is going to be the clash nonetheless as the ban phase comes to an end as we progress to the first round. Demon's Force on defense, they will be defending on the second floor bunk and daycare. As we take a look at the rosters on the side of Kira Esports, we have Atharv, Rats, Weepster, Rattler, and Deathhammer. And on the side of Demon's Force, we have Tsushima Goat, Sniper 1T Candy, Angel, Snow, and Notorious 9. And for without any further ado, when this timer comes to a 0, we will head on in right into the matchup. Six pick comes in as we're gonna be seeing Rats changing from the Buck to the Sledge. mean both soft breaches has their own ups and downs. You have Buck having his own utilities like the claymores as well as the flashbangs, and you have the Sledge, which he has the ability to use the frag grenades to his potential, make sure he can be able to get that kill as best as possible. Now with that, well, with the prep phase will be coming in, the site being on second floor gym, we are going to see Sniper 1T Candy playing as the Vigil. So maybe we might be able to see Demon's Force playing some of the roam duty, I presume, holding in apparently in either in the initiation or office room, or maybe he'll just be roaming around in the first floor. That would be on either the dragon room stairs, just to make sure that the attackers, when that's most probably their plan of attack, most they would arrive from the cash room or they would arrive in the cafe entrance, which would give quite a lot of difficulties for the defenders to hold those particular angles. But hey, let's see what's going to happen out as we progress to the action phase, as Weepster will be the one playing as the ace. Those Selma breach charges, we're going to be seeing those 3 of them, although we did remember that we actually did see a maintenance patch coming in which Jack is going to say it on the next match. But first and foremost, let us focus on the match at hand. We're going to be seeing Snow with the Jaeger. He's going to be holding in at the entrance of the cafe, making sure that he would get good amount of cover, and hopefully the hold would be as strong on the side of defense. Meanwhile, we are going to be seeing Notorious 9 playing as the Mira, as we see one of the C4s being used and will take a little bit of damage to Death Armor, I believe. I think it was maybe an impact nade which should catch Death Armor off guard, but let's see what's going to happen here. The drone works comes in from Rats as he will detect one, but Angel with that frag as he eliminates Rattler, but that instant trade-off comes in from the Zofia. Death Armor with an instant refrag, eliminating the Legion. Well, with that, already the first frag came in between both of the teams as Snow and the Vigil. Both of them has their backs, but do they? As Amar gets another kill, eliminating Notorious 9. I believe that was right from the initiation room in which Zofia was there to eliminate them. Meanwhile, we see Atharv getting quite a lot of tag, I believe, from the Jaeger's gunfire that we get to witness right from that drone hole, exposing off her feet. Exposing off her feet, making sure that the amount of damage will be done for Atharv, and he will do just that. With Rats holding the angle from the daycare, he needs to figure out an angle or maybe an elimination from the teams in which all of those 2 players are holding. Actually, 3 of them are apparently holding near the site, which would give Kira Esports quite a lot of confirmation that they have all of those drones. That's quite unfortunate, as one of the nades eliminates the drone, but they still have that man count in their advantage, as Weepster will be there to eliminate one more on the side of Demon's Force, which leads to Sniper 1T Candy and Snow, the only 2 players of Demon's Force in round 1, and they have to find out 4 players of Kira Esports as the push comes in from Atharv, as Snow will be there to find one, make that another, as Jaeger will get a triple kill, where the instant refrag comes in from Rats when that execution came in from them. 20 seconds left. It is a 1v1 situation here. It is a doable situation for Demon's Force, which they instantly converted it into a 2v4 into a 1v1. Rats going in for the plan. Impact nade being used to open up the barricade, but at what cost? With that, the post-plan situation comes in, and Rats with the SMG-11 suppressor comes in, but Sniper 1T Candy will be there to eliminate Rats as they will win their first round on defense. As we take a look at it, and ACT Fibernet's instant replay, it was a 2v4 situation in which the Vigil and the Jaeger had to fend off a total of 4 players of Kira Esports. And when that push came in, all Jaeger had to do was to spray the entire magazine of the R4 carbine, and he did exactly that, getting 3 kills, giving Vigil the opportunity to clutch it out on a 1v1 post plan situation. As we proceed to round 2, first floor armory, it's going to be the site.
Round 1 going the way of Demon's Force off the back of that beautiful 2v clutch right there from the Jaeger and the Vigil. Especially well done holding on post plan, really. Back and forth with Rats, of course. You never want to underestimate that man with the sledge SMG 11. He's done some great things with that gun, but unfortunately, today was not that day, at least, you know, for that
Attackers
first
need
round.
to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Though that being said, round 2 is going to be underway on the first floor armory and throne room, the default site to see when it comes to theme park, of course, as we all know and love for this map. Even though we don't get to see it too much, you know, admittedly, theme park is still a pretty heavily defender-sided map. That bit has not changed and pretty much will never change, of course. As we will continue into this match, we'll just see exactly how much of that Demon's Force can use to their advantage. One of the big things that makes this map as, you know, a little bit more of a troublesome operator clearing, operator clearing dice on this map. It's a little bit more troublesome than others because of the number of hiding spots on every single room, the number of nooks and crannies that you have to drone, and then you have to peek, and then you have to pre-fire. There's so much of that. You never know where there could be an operator hiding. There could be a Wamad behind his shield, or is he behind the throne? Or is he inside the barrels? You will never know. That is exactly why Theme Park is one of those maps we don't get to see too often, but when we do, it's always a treat. Interestingly enough, none of the attackers from the side of Kira Esports are playing the glass. An operator I'm sure a lot of our viewers and a lot of people in the Siege community player base right now will have their eyes on because of course, the patch that came in tonight. Baba, of course, mentioned that a while ago. The patch that came in tonight has given Glass a significant buff, but to talk about operators that are being played, Kira Esports have brought in the Ace. Well, okay, we're going to get back to that in a quick second as Rattler has taken one down early. That's Notorious down, and we're just about crossing the 2-minute mark. The Vigil Roamer has been taken care of from the side of Kira Esports. That's a big early take from them, as now they need to find a second roamer if there, of course, is one. And that is Angel, who's been spotted. He's going to fall back, but does he know that the Ash is right here? I think he does. He's waiting for a peek. Rattler's pushing in. Does he know what Jaeger is? He will see him, and he will take the head off. Nice and quickly. Angel just happened to look away as Snow goes down as well. Kira Esports have a great early round take right here against Demon's Force. They did this in the last round as well, admittedly a little later in the round stages, but even then, it's again 8-5 this time around. Sakashima Goat and Sniper One Candy are the only ones remaining from the side of the defense. They need to make this count, but drones are spotting where these defenders are sitting. There's utilities going off. Zophia's concussive grenades, impact grenades, ADS are being burned and whatnot. Everything is going off right now. And there's the Selma breaches that I've been dying to talk about. They no longer break 3 strips of a wall, only 2, even though Ace retains all 3 of his throwable gadgets. It's just a minor change, but will, of course, as far as, you know, most people are saying, it will reduce Ace's overall effectiveness and versatility, but of course, he's still a pretty versatile operator. Sniper on Kennedy's gonna take some damage in the meanwhile, trying to fall back into sight. Rattler sees those pings, even though they're a little outdated. He has to be very careful. Vast takes damage as he's just gonna push in. This is what they're trying to do. Kira Esports for the plan. Rattler takes a lot of damage on entry, but he will still be alive as this 2v5 is coming down to a post-plan situation. Peeps is gonna get it off. There we go. And one will not be secured. The bandit goes down, and so does his teammate. Sniper One Candy and Sakashima Goat will fall in quick consecution as round 2 will go the way of Kira Esports. As we see in the ACT Fibernet instant replay, ladies and gentlemen, a quick early take on second floor through second floor into first, and then the push into sight. Lots of damage being done, lots of bullets being traded, but the bodies never fell for Kira Esports. That is why they take round 2. As round 3 will be underway, but of course before that we got to make sure that Kira Esports don't want to rehost. A third has left the lobby, of course. And yep, they're just gonna have to make sure with their teammate nice and quickly. Site in the meanwhile is being selected as first floor armory and throne room, but we are in fact going to be going into a quick rehost, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll be right back with the match as
Defenders,
soon
protect
as
your bombs from being
possible.
defused by attackers.
But of course, this gives us time not only to talk about the match that we have at hand, the match that we have after this, but also that juicy patch note, the juicy patch that dropped earlier today. But before we do that, of course, round one, we got to see once again, Kid Esports in the early round takes did well against Demas Force's defense. Round one, unfortunately, did not go their way because of a brilliant 2v4 that was pulled off from the last two defenders standing, while round two could not quite repeat the same miracle for them, as a 2v5 on Armory Throne Room, especially with the attackers inside a site, is unfortunately a lot more difficult than a site retake on second floor bunk and daycare. With all that being said, round three, I believe we will see Demas Force go back on Armory because, of course, like I said, it is the site to be when it comes to theme park. We've seen teams, go to storage and lab on the other side of first floor. We've seen teams go to We've seen teams go to initiation and daycare as well. But when it comes to theme park, the first site people normally think of, at least for me, is Armory and Throne Room. That site is the defender site to be, and that site happens to be one of the hardest to attacker sites out there. Again, according to me. But, there's this match isn't the only thing worth talking about. There is another game after this one, and that's one I'm sure a lot of our viewers will be looking forward to, despite how slightly late in the night it is. Monka S versus Extremis Esports, which will be going live as soon as this one ends, ladies and gentlemen. After these beautiful first two rounds that have happened, we're sure to be here for a while, at least a 7-5, if not overtime, and I dare say a 7-5, mind you, with these two amazing teams that are here on show tonight. These four, should I say, as Monka S will be looking to do something special once again. They did a fantastic game on Oregon the other day, playing Tachanka constantly on defense QB. Those 6 rounds were sheer madness from the man. And who knows, he might just be looking to repeat that today. Monka S might be looking to repeat that today. We'll find out. But another thing that is worth talking about is the patch that we have had today, ladies and gentlemen. A huge patch, which with some big changes. Well, starting off with the small ones, of course, Oryx and Malusi have traded primaries. Oryx has the T5 SMG, and he gets a 1.5x on that, which is sure to help him out in gunfights, as the MP5 didn't quite feel right. In the meanwhile, Malusi gets the MP5 that Oryx had. Of course, she doesn't get any zoom optics, however, seeing as she is, of course, a 3-speed operator. But she still retains her C4 and her 3 Banshees, so she will probably still be just as annoying as she has been so far. Coming back to the other changes, Frost, interestingly enough, gets the secondary ITA-12S shotgun, which is an interesting change. I don't think it's actually going to do much to buff her pick rate. She is a fairly useful operator in the right hands, but that right hands is a little bit too niche to really find a place in a current Rainbow Six Siege, So who knows, maybe someday we'll see Frost come back into the meta, but definitely that today is not that day. A reminder for all of our viewers that the score is in fact 1-1 between both teams. Only 2 rounds have happened, of course, and we'll be coming back with a rehost that has been called from the side of Akira Esports. The third was the one to leave the lobby. Hopefully they'll all be back soon-ish, as that, of course, gives us a little bit more time to continue talking about the patch notes. And I know I'm taking away from all of our viewers listening to Baba's beautiful voice, but do bear with me as I have them open right here, and I want to get this done before we get back into the game. So, after Frost, Glass. Yeah, this one I think a lot of our viewers and a lot of players out there have been a little bit on the edge for, because not only does Glass's recovery time from opaque to see-through and smoke goes to 0.4 seconds, down from a full second. It's now a fourth of a second, really. And then there's the fact that movement no longer penalizes his, how quickly his scope goes opaque, which means that he can move around a lot more before losing sight through smoke. And of course, there was that change recently, which allows him to still see heat signatures normally while moving around. So really, he's mostly just back to how he used to be before they added those recharging lines, that mechanic into his scope. He's really back to who he was before, for the most part, with just a little hitch, a little delay. I don't think that recharge mechanic is going to be really looked at anymore. People will be pushing with glass just like they used to. Through smoke, just throw the smoke down, push it aside. I feel like the Ying glass meta, excuse me, might try and make a comeback, but then again, given the current meta of Rainbow Six Siege, which is so heavily utility-sided, we might not see that. Who knows? It's again, the patch has only recently gone live, and it takes a little bit of time for the meta to adjust to all of these changes. Another big change that was made was shields, as in Montaigne, Blitz, Fuse Shield, if you ever want to play Fuse Shield, and Clash. This does extend to Clash, even though she's a different kind of shield. Basically, now, if you throw an impact grenade at a shield, it will, it won't go all the way to the side. It'll just sort of move slightly. For Blitz, you can shoot his head as far as we've seen, but for Montaigne, you can mostly shoot his legs. His shield no longer comes back up when that guard break animation is in play. But when shields get meleeed, similar to everything that's been so far, it will force the shield all the way to the side, even for Montaigne. So really, this one's a big nerf to Montaigne and Blitz, more so than any other shield. Clash already had a big guard break animation in most situations, and had to be pretty careful, and using that turtleback strategy was a good thing for her. But Montaigne is going to have to look into subscribing to that strategy soon, because he can no longer sit in a corner and just wait for the defenders to make a mistake. He has to be very active right now, otherwise he will be punished very, very hard indeed. Of course, a full breakdown is in the works probably from all of the content creators out there, so we'll be keeping our eyes on that. But of course, enough rambling on about the patch notes. There's a lot to take in from there, as we'll be coming back into the match in just a quick moment. All of the players have joined back into the lobby, ladies and gentlemen. Kira Esports and Demas Force are back in the lobby. We're just waiting on the ready confirmation, and we do have it. So to summarize once again, Kira Esports have used up their first and only rehost, as Thurv was the one to leave the lobby. He is back, everyone's back, and we will be rejoining the teams in a 1-1 scoreline on round 3, and the map is Theme Park.
Well, thank you for that huge explanation of the patch notes, Jack. As we proceed back to the matchup, round 3, Kira Esports and Demas Force both have been equalized. 1-1 is the score line as we proceed to round 3. First floor armory is going to be the side, and I do have to appreciate how well their attack coordination was, especially on the side of Kira Esports, where like all they had to do was to just open up the walls on the armory wall so that they can be able to head on to the site with Weepster planting the diffuser. Rats and Athar was there with holding the angle and making sure that the defenders won't be able to push in and go for the plant, and that's exactly what they did. That hopefully on round 3, Demas Force might be able to find some mistakes from the attackers, and hopefully the attack coordination that comes in will be able to break, just like they did in round 1, where Snow was playing as the Jaeger, gets those three kills, holding from that yellow stairs hallway through towards the second floor bunk, in which he actually did a pretty good job at it. 2v4 into a 1v1, and with that, Demas Force winning it out on first round. Apparently they did not, however, expected their attack coordination on round 1, but hopefully we'll get to see what's going to happen next as we proceed to round 3 after 5 seconds of prep phase. We're going to be seeing some interesting picks coming in on the side of Demas Force, especially the Capcan being played here. Now, we do agree that Capcan with this EDD will be able to provide some good damage potential for the attackers, mainly for its 70 damage if gets triggered. If it doesn't, well, the attackers have to make sure that they have to eliminate those EDD as best as possible, making sure that they are attentive to their nearby environment. If they do not, well, that 70 damage would be very disadvantageous, especially if you're going up against the particular defenders. Now with Angel thinking of going for a run out here by being near the windows, but unfortunately he won't do that, and I believe he's just going to fall back from a fallback or rotate back to a particular position here. With Atharv holding the angles, making sure that the defenders won't go for that run out, in which Rattler is apparently holding the angle with the rappel. That's basically what it is, because most of the time when the attackers tries to rappel in, they just make sure that the defenders won't be able to go for that run out and eliminate those as best as possible. That's the reason why you need those teammates to make you need those teammates to hold out those angles. But yeah, let's with that keeping in mind, the defenders not thinking of going way too aggressive, but they will decide to hold their ground with great amount of utility, with great amount of intel gathering, with the default camps with it taking out, and ping 2.0 system immediately detecting what kind of the utilities have been placed. But here we go, the first frag comes in, and it is going to be Rattler eliminating Angel, followed up with removal of those EDDs, making sure that the damage potential won't be in play for the Cap. Even though with a one-man down on the side of Demon's Force, Kira Esports, I mean, they've quite a few lit up there, especially Atharv and Deathamar both in the 50 HP mark. All they have to do is to just get into the side with a few amount of utilities being wasted, taking out the castle's armor panels so that they can be able to enter in on the site. And looks like Rats, he will find another one, eliminating Kushima Goat. The double R's of Kira Esports are working hard, and they will make sure that they can eliminate the entire team of Demon's Force, as Athar will be there to eliminate Notorious. One more team down on the side of Demon's Force, but Snow will be there for that instant takedown, eliminating Rattler. Follow up with the down coming in right from the hatch, in which apparently the defenders is holding in on the hallways connecting to the armory and towards the throne room, as Ace will be there to open up the walls connecting towards the throne room to the yellow stage. With that, they don't know exactly what kind of position Snow is playing in, and he's going to take that opportunity here. All he has to do is wait for that perfect opportunity, in which he will switches out to the pistol, eliminating both the Ace and the Sophia. All he has to do is find one, but he actually doesn't see it. The pistol comes in, he will eliminate one more, and Rats will be there to eliminate one, but it's not going to work out here. Snow with an incredible play, eliminating both the Sophia and the Ace, and actually it's three, not two, eliminating Hibana. On the other hand, gives Demon's Force the upper hand, winning round 3 in first floor armory. As we proceed to round 4, second floor bunk is going to be the side, and my man, oh my god, I just did not expect it to see that. Atharv, not knowing exactly what kind of positioning Legion was in, he was playing very close near the breached wall of the throne room, and all he had to do was one tap to the head, and he did exactly that. So we're going to be progressing to round 4. A 6 pick being coming in, a sniper T Candy thinking of going with the Frost, but she will change to the Alibi. Same thing goes to the Atharv as he changes from the Hibana to the Maverick.
Interesting couple of 6 picks right there. The Alibi especially, as it looks like Sniper One Candy wants to do a little bit of a bamboozling action right here on the map of Theme Park. Second floor, bunk and daycare. The side of choice. No initiation pick so far from Demon's Force, although admittedly they haven't really had a chance to go there because of course they lost around in the middle, which has allowed them to go back to bunk daycare right after round 3. So should be an interesting round 4 right here, Demon's Force, seeing as they had a very, well, shaky take. You know, it did come down to the 2-4 clutch and a bit of a site retake right towards the end. But, you know, they did win this site in their first attempt. They might be able to do it again. They'll be looking to do it again for sure, as Kira Esports will be looking to capitalize on those early takes that they have been making. Once again, those early rounds from them have been great, shutting down Demon's Forces, a couple of their operators early. It's just the fact that getting the site has been very messy for them. They've lost a lot of bodies doing that, and then getting in there, getting the plant off, or holding on long enough to start the plant. It hasn't worked out for them. They sort of seem to lose intel, or their intel devices get taken out because they've been placing off these positions. I'm not sure what's happening. I don't think anyone other than, of course, Kira Esports really is, but they'll need to look into whatever it is that has been causing them such massive late ground troubles and try and rectify them as soon as possible. Already quick entryway into initiation and office for initiation for the time being from the side of Demas Force. Kira Esports, as Demas Force mostly
Bomb
has
located
their
by
operators
attackers.
concentrated around the side of Upper Arcade. Maverick is going to come in, that's a third right there, and start breaching the wall of Tsukushima Goat. Interestingly enough, got stuck on his own teammate's back. But, you know, no harm, no foul, as the wall will be made soft from a third. Nicely done. The Maverick softball trick goes off, and the wall will be breached by Rats, making quick work of a vital piece of entryway breach. But he will go down instead from a beautiful shot from the alibi, as Rattler's going to take one for himself as well, taking Snow off the board. That's Jaeger towards that of Cafe, mind you, as Angel will drop as well. Deathhammer takes that kill as Selma reaches are going off, having taken care of the bandit batteries. And Rattler finds one more. That Sniper one candy off the board, leaving Tsukushima Goat and a Notorious. Nope, it's only Tsukushima Goat, as the Legion will fall, leaving the bandit all alone, stuck in his side of security room. Is one man against four. Kira Esports, they are looking to get the plant off. Veepster's the man with the diffuser, of course. He will do it. The man is going to hear it. He's trying to peek, and he will get taken out by Deathhammer. Nice and quickly, as we get to see in the ACT Fibernet instant replay right there, ladies and gentlemen. Round 4, a round goes to the side of Kira Esports, and this time taking care to not lose bodies, taking care to not try and rush in when they get those early picks done, taking care to give themselves cover. They really need to do that, and they did it well, as it was a very good site take and a very good planter protection coming out from them, and, you know, making sure to have the last defender cornered inside of control room. As it is now 2-2 in no one's favor, and we are going into round 5. As this match, you know, we kind of predicted this before the match began. We might be looking at a 7-5 or overtime. The rate it's going, it looks more closer to overtime than ever before.
Well, according to the match history of Demas,
Attackers need to
sorry, not
locate
from
and
Demas
defuse
Force, from
bomb.
Kira Esports, they did, however, lose to L2K on map Oregon, and that was, you know, quite an unexpected turn of events as I get to witness it. Kira Esports, not knowing what kind of a defense that L2K had, they did not, however, recovered the round pretty well when the second half came into play. But with them going up against Demas Force, especially on round 5, equalizing the round 2-2 is the scoreline apparently. Maybe we might be able to see some, you know, great comebacks coming in from Kira Esports. So hope, and that too in the attack phase on map Theme Park, in which Jack already said that it used to be a heavily defender-sided map, especially the site like First Floor Armory. So with Kira Esports surprisingly winning on both the sides, First Floor Armory and Second Floor Bunk, it is quite unexpected on what kind of rounds in which Kira Esports, not Demas Force, might be able to win it out. But let's see what's going to happen here as we proceed to the action phase. We are going to see Notorious playing as the Wamai with those deployable shield and those magnets to make sure that the trajectory of the attackers won't go near them, or near the deployable shield, that is. With that, a lot of roam duty being coming in from the defenders, especially Sniper 1T Candy and Notorious 9. And Snow, who is apparently prone in through the drone hole. So if the attackers try to be in a positioning in the side of offices, that is where Atharv is playing on. He is currently in the cash room, but all he has to do is to just get into the initiation room, open up the walls which connects to the bunk, and just get it. Prefast comes in from Rats as he makes sure that defenders tries not to push in, or maybe he's just trying his luck. I have absolutely zero idea, but we'll actually get to see what's going to happen here, as Maverick is just using his breaching charge yet again, as Sniper 1T Candy makes sure he was about to go for the opportunity to eliminate the Maverick, but he decides to fall back, knowing that the drone has spotted his direction, so he will decide to fall back. So with that, the the Maverick wall is the breaching torch is successfully converted a hard breach wall into a soft wall, followed up with the sledge breaching hammer. With it, Snow is still worried that there might be some attackers pushing in from the cafe. As we're going to see a little bit of holes being used from Athar, making sure the attackers trying to be able to get in, but is actually going to go the exact opposite here. Tsushima Gold with 1, make that a 2 as he uses the C4 to eliminate that Hummer here. A lot of pre-fires comes in, making sure that he'll be able to eliminate Ace. He will. Followed up with Sniper 1 TK and eliminating one, but keep that in mind, Tsushima Goat downed him, which leads to Rats all by himself, and he will be eliminated to Angel with the final kill on towards Rats, as Demon Sports will win round 5 on second floor bunk. Let's take a look at that in ACT Fibernet's instant replay. The number of defense that we get to witness, especially Tsushima Goat, 1 kill to eliminate one, the second the C4 eliminating Atharv, and then the third to down Veepster, who was playing as the ace, which we will see Demon's Force gaining the lead against Kira Esports. With that, round 6 in play, as we're going to be seeing Demon's Force defending on first floor, armory, and throne room. Quite interestingly, for the past 6 rounds, we've only seen Demon's Force defending 2 sites, and those 2 sites is none other than Bunk and Armory, in which Kira Esports is just going back and forth against it.
Well, if you put it that way,
Attackers need
Baba,
to
of
locate
course,
and defuse as many bombs as
given
they
the fact
can.
that these 2 sites have been Demon's Force's sort of go-to before. We've seen them play Theme Park on occasion in the previous league, so it's not really surprising, given those matches, that they really like to go Throne Room and, of course, Bunk Gate. And seeing as they've had a bit of a back and forth with Kira Esports, means that they lose around and they win around, which means they can go back to the previous side that they won by the time they're done with the next one. So since they have the chance, why not go for it? They want to win as many rounds as possible, and the only way to do that is to play the game you're most comfortable with, the strats you practice the most, and of course the positions in certain situations and sites that you have the most confidence in as well.
Drop the diffuser. Attackers have
With all
recovered
that
their
being said,
diffuser.
of course, Action Phase from Kira Esports is going to be live for what may or may not be the last time on this match, because of course overtime is a thing that exists, and if we do go all the way to the round 13 situation, well, I think we all know what will be said before that round begins, but more importantly, that will mean that Kira Esports will have another chance at attacking. Interestingly enough, we saw for a quick moment Tsushima Goat and Sniper 1 Candy in their natural habitat, just enjoying each other's company for the most part, as there you go. Just, making sure their prone and crouch keys are working as intended, and all the like, enjoying their time.
I mean, I just hate to say it. It's just that I was actually saying that they have they're speaking the language of the gods.
Well, I'm pretty sure our admin Eisen will know all about that. But that is, of course, a discussion for another day, ladies and gentlemen. Meanwhile, second floor take is coming out from the side of Kira Esports. A good one as well, but there are almost no defenders, situated up there. The Mozzie's been droned out, ironically enough, and he's fallen back. Angel, that is, into Lab. There's an attacker chasing him, but then there's the pulse. He's going to see one. That's the C4 coming out. But well done by Victorious. He doesn't know it, of course. He does now, but he didn't know that when he retracted his sensor to throw the C4, decided against that and pulled his sensor out again. That was a very good move from him. The C4 throw, however, not so much of a good move, as that is a piece of utility wasted. That's taking some damage, and he will go down. All right, looks like that didn't work out. That worked out quite well for Victorious in the end, taking down a very, very important operator from the side of Kira Esports attack, with only minimal damage done to him in return. 4 versus 5, and Kira Esports are not looking too hot on the block right now. They will be going into defense out of this round, ladies and gentlemen, but they need to make sure that everything is already in their favor. As Rattler, he's looking to push Mozzie right now. Flashbangs go out. Angel's been flashed out of his mind. The push needs to come in, but will it? No, Angel's managed to relocate, unbeknownst to Rattler, but no, what a beautiful shot right there, as he will take the head of Angel. relieving him of his duty in the best way possible. As one falls, and that's another one to the R4C. As Rattlers made his way into sight, he's looking for more, but he will be down and taken care of. So many bodies are dropping, as 3 from Kira Esports drop in quick succession, leaving a third, the last one, who will also fall to the UMP9 of Notorious. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to give the side of Deimos Force round 6, 2 rounds back to back, as we've seen the ACT Fibernet instant replay right there. And this gives them a hefty lead going into round 7. Role swap, 4-2 up. They will, of course, be attacking, so they have a little bit of work ahead of them. But given that it's Deimos Force on the attack, I am very interested to see how Kira Esports mount their defense.
Well, with that role swap, Deimos Force gaining the lead 4-2 at this first half. We are going to be able to see them attacking as the 6 pick comes in from Sniper 1T Candy from the BB to the Maverick. Followed up with Snow playing as the Lion, quite interestingly, with his...
Defenders, protect your bombs from being
It is
defused
quite
by
interesting.
attackers.
I mean, it is rare to see Lion being played in the Rainbow Six Siege, mostly competitive, because we did see Lion being hugely pegged when he was first introduced to the game, but after some of the huge nerfs that the devs had to make sure that he's still playable. I'm not saying that he's not. He's still playable. His drones will be able to, you know, instead of showing the outline, it would just show the pings, so we get to see it. But yeah, I mean, talking about different stuff, we are going to be seeing Death Hammer playing as the roamer, making sure that the attackers, if they try to push in, the intel will be, however, not so visible for the defenders. But to be honest, I actually do have to apologize because I'm missing quite a lot of words here. But hey, let's just head on back to the action phase here with the attackers, especially Angel playing as the Ash, making sure that his frag, hopefully to eliminate the defenders as fast as possible so that they can get into the site and plant. So with that, a few of those Roanoks will come in, making sure that whatever intel or roamers who are apparently being playing in on the side of second floor bunk or office will be able to eliminate as soon as possible. With Death Amar making those bullet holes, he just prepped it. He's just waiting for that perfect moment. And just like Jack was talking about it, Beepster, who is apparently playing as the Melusi, she'll be playing as the MP5, but she still maintains her C4 and another kill. It looks like one of Jaeger will be there to eliminate one, followed up with Angel and Sniper 1T Candy doing the same, eliminating 2 players on the side of Kira Esports. And already bodies have been dropping off. Make that another one as Goats find another player of Kira Esports. That would be 3 important teams of Kira Esports as we see Lions EDD. Actually, not the EDD, the ERC scanner. Apparently trying to figure out what kind of position that they come in. I do have to apologize yet again because I kind of misspelled it wrong. That is the Vigil's utility. So with that, Snow using one of them to gather some information from the defenders, as Kushima God will be there to use that floor angle being used from either the Ash's breaching charges. But this is going to happen. Another comes in as Snow drops right from below as he is in his armory side. As Atharv and Rats, they are just making sure that the attackers won't be able to get the control here. Atharv and Rats, they just equalize it 2-2 as Atharv will be there to get another one, eliminating Sniper 1T Candy. But look at that peak! Tsukushima Goat eliminating 2 players of Kira Esports. As we take a look at that in ACT Fabrinet's instant replay, all he had to do was to just find 2 heads of Kira Esports, and they will do exactly that. Deimos Force is definitely on a roll here, ladies and gentlemen, winning their first attack on first floor armory as we proceed to round 8, where the site is yet again the same. Kira Esports is they're just dazed. They have absolutely no idea on what just happened here, with 3 early kills being done on the side of Deimos Force. All they had to do was to just get into the side in which Atharv and Rats, I guess it was Atharv and Rats. Yep, that was Atharv and Rats. They made sure that they don't have the control on the side as best as possible, and they did. Both of them are holding on the side of the throne room, but unfortunately they did not expect that huge team coming in from Deimos Force. And looks like they just need 2 more wins to win against Kira in map theme park. So what Kira Esports have to do? mean, they have to make sure that their early game, they don't just
Attackers
lose
have located
bodies
a
up and
bomb.
down. So if they just make sure that they are patient enough, wait for the attackers to, lure them into the trap, maybe Kira Esports can be able to salvage this situation out.
Well, given that it is 5-2 in favor of Demas Force, who took round 7 very well on the attack. Like you said, Baba, it was a great
10 seconds remaining.
early and mid-round from the side of DF, but their late round,
5 seconds
similar to
left
Kira
before
Esports, needs some work. After that first round, they lost way too many bodies going into sight, and it took Tsukishima Goat quite literally sweeping the heads off of the last two defenders for Demas Force to win the round. They'll need to avoid putting, any of their players in those situations. While they might win those, winning them all the time is definitely a little bit more towards the idealistic side.
Activating jammer.
Speaking of which, we never really got to see one of the changes that I was talking about in the rehearsal lobby. We stirred the Melusi with the MP5. Took me a second to adjust seeing an MP5 in Melusi's hands, but then again, just like Buck's frag grenades, it's going to take a while to get used to this one particular change. Even though for Melusi doesn't really mean too much per se. Oh, the Blackbeard will be found early, but there goes the reflag from Sniper 1 Candy, taking down Deathhammer nice and quickly, even though snow fell. As an explosion goes off somewhere, Tsukishima Goat will find rats in the meanwhile. That is the mute of the board. More shots fired, but the Jaeger, will he be the one to fall? Not quite yet. Oh, he ran out of bullets, but there's a refrag in from Angel onto Rattler. Tsukishima Goat, unfortunately, whiffed a few too many shots to retain in his mag right there, and that's why he unfortunately met his end. Even though the refrag came in from Angel right afterwards, it's a situation that he probably could have avoided, all things considered. 3 versus 2. Once again, we're looking at a similar situation where the hatch on the barrel's entry needs to be opened, and Sniper 1 Candy's doing his job, a little messily, admittedly, right there. But he's going to get it done nice and quickly, and another breach has gone off from Notorious, this time to cover the long angle from the throne and the bomb. But will he be able to get the head off of either Veepster or a Thurv from peeking that angle from Yellow Stairs? Just not quite yet, of course. No kills have been confirmed just yet. Angel, in the meanwhile, trying to play vertical. He's just choosing his spot. There we go. Blows up on the floor. Will not see the Melusi, I believe that is, Veepster. No, that is actually a Thurv who's inside a sight. Not gonna see him just yet. Veepster is offside, but Sniper 1 Candy is going for it. Already he's gonna fall off that, as that was a little bit of a bait. He's still getting on it. Is there protection from the breach? I don't think there is, but Veepster, there we go. He's gonna see him, and the Thurv's gonna go down in the meanwhile. But the diffuser has been dropped with 30 seconds remaining, meaning that this 1v2 is something that Demas Force has to be very, very careful on. Angel, flashbang out, caught by the Womai Magnet, throws another one, and another one. He's somehow able to get away, as Veepster has been flashed, and Notorious will take advantage of that. Round 8 goes to the side of Demas Force, as well as we'll see in the ACT Fibernet instant replay. A very messy end of round right there, ladies and gentlemen. But Demas Force managed to win it, this time not going all the way down to a 1v2 against them, as it will be match point confirmed, 6-2 in their favor. However, of course, there looks like there's been a disconnect from the side of Demas Force as well. And we'll just, we'll take a minute to make sure that everything is in order. They're not asking for a rehost just yet. Alright, so as it turns out, they cannot. That is the admin's decision, excuse me, right there. Nearly butchered the word decision. Late night casting, ladies and gentlemen. But with all that being said, we will be going into round 9. 6-2 in favor of
Attackers
DF.
need to locate and defuse bombs.
Yeah, well, talking about round 9, I actually do have to talk about the attacks in round 7, 8. First floor armory on
Attackers
Demas
recovered
Force.
the diffuser.
Yeah, as I was talking about it, round 7 and round 8, it was more of like a repeat on what exactly happened there. Instead of, the Womai and Rats was apparently playing as the mute, where the only operators remaining, it was actually it was Womai and Melusi were the ones, and unfortunately they did not, however, couldn't recover the round in quite a well fashioned. But talking about those two rounds, Kira Esports actually was about to pick the first floor armory in round 9, but unfortunately we had to go for a rehost yet again. So talking about the first few rounds here, Tsukushima Gold with a well played, the well played C4. He was playing as the bandit. He made sure the push from the attackers you know, won't be able to eliminate some of the players on the side of defenders, and they did exactly that. And followed up with Snow, as we actually did talked about it in the previous rehost, round 1, where they were playing, where Snow made sure when Kira Esports were going for the execute on the second floor bunk, Snow was there to eliminate 3 of those players, in which gave Demons Force the win that they need. But talking more about Kira's attack, we actually did see them winning on first floor armory in round 2 and second floor bunk in round 4, in which Kira Esports, they didn't had any problems dealing with the rumors of Demon's Force, especially Rattler and Rats, the 2 R's of Kira Esports. They've managed it out pretty well. The push, the early peaks, eliminating the rumors, and all they had to do was to just go onto the site, in which they did in a well-mannered fashion. Now, the only problem in which they did not, however, equalize the round on first half, it was because of the Legion, who was apparently holding in on the bathrooms. He was just waiting for the Ace Salma breaches to go out, in which so Zofia and the Ace were 2 of them holding on the side of yellow stairs, and they were about to go for the plant, followed up with those 2 smoke grenades. But since no, I guess it was Snow who was playing as the Legion. He just pushed in, eliminated 2 of those guys, and instead of deciding to just go back to the bathrooms, he decided to be in the close breach range of where exactly Ace uses Selma breach to open up the throne room wall, actually from the armory wall. And all he had to do is just wait for the attackers to push in. The Hibana, thinking that the Legion was apparently in the bathroom side, he just went for the push in, didn't exactly see where he was. And the pistol, he had the pistol in hand. One taps in, and Demon's Force gets the situation under control. Quite surprisingly, we will see Demon's Force on match point with the 2 successful wins on attack. But in round 9, it is quite interesting, because since the theme park is well known for defender favored. Quite surprisingly, Kira Esports they've had a lot of problems in the early games, as I might call it, because most of the time the aggression from Demon's Force, especially it was Tsukushima Goat, Sniper 1T Candy, and Notorious 9, both uh, doing the hunter duty instead of 2 players, in which they just removes Kira Esports' roaming duty, in which all they had to do was to just open up the walls on the side of offices, open up the hatches, and they just immediately just gets the win. So quite interestingly, Kira Esports, they have no idea on what to do on defense, but hopefully after the rehost they might be able to think it out, figure out what kind of plans that they're doing, and hopefully break the attack coordination that Demon's Force has.
Absolutely right there. Kira Esports have been, for lack of a better term, lackluster today for sure. Like we saw in their early attacking rounds, they had some great early rounds, taking kill after kill. 3 bodies, 4 bodies were being dropped, but then it was getting into sight that really seemed to be the problem for them. They did manage to take 2 attacking rounds, and on a map like Theme Park, that is still a pretty big achievement, even 2 rounds themselves. Sure, it's not a 3-3 equalized situation, but you take what you get. Unfortunately for them, everything after that has not gone their way. The 2 rounds that they have had on Armory Throne, on the first one, round 7, we saw Tsukushima Goat pull off a beautiful 1v2 literal sweep finish right there. And then, of course, on round 8, it was a 2v1, the other way around. But Demon's Force have sort of suffered from the same issues that the side of Kira Esports did on their attack, which is early round, they've been great. They've been taking bodies left, right, and center, but it's getting into sight. Even if there's only 1 or 2 operators remaining on the defense, getting into sight is their problem. At least it has been for these 2 rounds. They've lost bodies, and they need to avoid doing that if they want to make sure this match finishes up as quickly as possible. Seeing as, of course, they are on match point, 6-2 is the score in their favor, and they stand 1 round away from finishing it all off. We'll find out whether or not whether or not that will actually happen in a quick minute, as looks like we have the ready confirmation coming in from Kira Esports and Demas Force, ladies and gentlemen. They're all back in the lobby, and Theme Park will be up and running for all of our viewers at home in just a quick minute. All rehosts have been used up from both teams, so even if this match goes a long way from here, even if there's a disconnect, unless there's an admin rehost, there will be no interruptions in play, and we are back with the match at hand. 6-2. Match point is the scoreline, and it is just one round away from ending in, of course, the favor of Demas Force.
Well, and just as I was talking about Kira Esports yet again defending on first floor armory, I do agree that the site first floor armory is bound to be one of the most heavily defender-sided side, but losing 2 rounds in a row, and that too Demas Force taking care of that advantage. Maybe taking that same side isn't a good option here. Maybe picking a second floor bunk or initiation room would be a good answer. But looks like Kira Esports, they are still thinking of staying in that site here. As we proceed to the prep phase,
Attackers
Demas
need to
Force
locate
on a
and
match
defuse as
point.
many bombs as
All
they
they need
can.
is just to win one more against them, and we'll see how it's going to go down. And quite surprisingly, we will not going to be seeing a Tsukushima Goat playing as the Blitz, even though it is neither banned nor he's been played. I mean, although it would be good, it would be great to see Tsukushima Goat playing as the Blitz, but unfortunately, he is way much more serious. He wants to make sure that he shouldn't make more mistakes, and therefore, having being more serious actually gives a lot of
10 seconds to go.
determination and focus to Demas Force, and that's exactly what has been happening around here. 2 attack wins to Demas Force, and they're making sure that they will close it off against Kira Esports,
Attackers'
or will
objective is to locate a bomb
Kira
and defuse it.
Esports be able to make a comeback? As we'll get to see it in the action phase, we will see Sniper 1 Key Candy playing as the Blackbeard. That rifle shield will be quite effective when it comes to holding an angle and challenging a 1v1
Attackers have
against
dropped the bomb
any
diffuser.
defenders. But in the
Attackers
previous round, we
recovered
actually
the
did see
diffuser.
that quick elimination from Kira Esports as they eliminated the BB, but an instant refrag immediately came in from Demas Force. But that heavy aggression, it actually wasn't that necessary here. Death Armor goes down from none other than Sniper 1T Candy, as already the early frag is down. Rats on in the meanwhile, he finds the leg but won't be able to connect for the head. Apparently, he is forced to go for a rotate, as Rats will be able to find once Tsukushima Goat is down. Uses the impact need to get a clearer intel, but unfortunately, he won't be able to find one. Instead, he'll just get fragged back from none other than Snow, who's apparently playing as the Hibana. All she has to do is to just use her gadget to open up the walls on Armory, plant on the default site, and it should be a flawless win for them. But will we be able to see some impressive plays as Atharv, who was apparently holding in on the site, decides to do the roaming game instead with the help of Rattler playing in the initiation room, in which we actually do see 2 sets of Excaro spells being used here to open up the side of the armory room. With that keeping in mind, Notorious 9 is still worried that there is 2 players pushing in, and Angel and Notorious will be there to instantly eliminate them, which leads to Weepster all by himself, and Sniper 1T Candy will be there to immediately eliminate Weepster, as we see Demas Force winning against Kira Esports on map Theme Park. It was quite a fast match that we get to witness, although we do have to apologize for some rehost and some technical difficulties that we had to issues. But hey, we actually did get to see some extreme plays from both the teams. And with Demas Force winning against Kira Esports on map Theme Park, that was definitely that was an interesting match that we get to witness it.
Absolutely an interesting match indeed, as both teams displayed their fair share of strengths, but they also showed a little bit of a weakness when it comes to this map. Again, that early round, it could just be the result of, just online Rainbow Six, maybe some issues with communications in the late round and whatnot. It is, of course, a heated situation, and we will never know unless the teams themselves decide to tell us, but that's a discussion for another day, ladies and gentlemen, as the first match has just ended. But before we go into before we go into a bit of a break, we will have a look at some of the highlights of the match that we had today between Demons Force and Kira Esports in Relive the Moment on your screens right now, as we will be checking it out from all of our players here. You know, they did a great job. Just here in round one, you see this looks like a 1v1 retake that the Visual was able to do all on his own. But mind you, this was a 2v4 clutch. The Kira Esports, they had a very tough time actually getting into sight and then getting the plant off from Rat. Sure, he was able to do it, but even then, there was only so much he could do in that situation. Excuse me right there. As once again, this was round 2 and a 2v5 in the post plant between both teams. Here they didn't have too much of trouble. They managed to clean up on that late round aspect that I was talking about. But the point still stands. Getting to the site has been a trouble for both teams on multiple rounds. Not just 1 or 2 rounds. Here you can see one body drops, the second one drops, Snow comes in with the kill, and then of course the defuse has been dropped inside the site. That was on entry, mind you, which means that Demons Force had a big advantage on the defense, and they made sure to play time with the diffuser drop lesion. Round 4, however, spelled a very different story on second floor block and take it. Once again, it looked like Kira Esports had cleaned up on their late round inefficiencies, having completely cornered Tsukishima Goat inside of security room right here. He had nowhere to go. The bandit, he was being watched on all angles, and he was taken off the board by the Zofia. But then you go around to round 5, Tsukishima Goat with that beautiful double kill. It was almost like revenge for the last round as he came in, absolutely tearing through the side of Kira Esports until of course he was shut down. But by that time, Rats, unfortunately the last one standing, couldn't really pull off too much for his team as Demons Force started running away with this game. Rounds 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 went the way of DF. That's 5 whole rounds. I have to quickly count, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, 5 whole rounds. Demons Force were dominating in this game. Even with the Rios being called, it was still a match that went the way of DF. And once again, it was Kira Esports' mistakes that Demons Force were able to catch on to that led them down that winning route. However, this is on round 7 Rollstop. This is where the side of Demons Force on the attack. Now you see, on entering the site, they're sort of pushing through the same way and getting taken out one by one through that barrel split entry door. And it took a beautiful double kill by Tsukishima Goat to finish off the round for his team. Once again, this is a 1v3 that could have potentially happened for the Malusi Veepster. Did a great job of dropping the diffuser right at the end, and it was a very messy situation, mind you, for the side of DF. Those flashbangs, yeah, they left quite a lot to be desired, but at the end of the day, that round and the round next went the way of Demons Force. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the first match of the night has come to an end, and we only have one more to go. We do apologize, ladies and gentlemen, but you know, it is what it is, and sometimes you have to make do with what you have. The next match that we have on hand is Monka S versus Extremis Esports on the map of Oregon. Extremis are defense, and they're taking Monka S to Oregon. Ooh, this should be an interesting game. We'll see you right there with that in just a quick moment. Stay tuned. Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD BLACK Esports Club Pro League for Rainbow Six Siege, supported by Ubisoft and in association with ACT Fibernet and AFK Gaming. I'm your host, Blackjack, and joining me is my co-host, Babagusta, and our admin, Eisen, as we are here for the last game of the night, unfortunately, and that is Extremist Esports versus Monka S on the map of Oregon. This is a very familiar situation for any of you that caught our match last week of Monka S on Oregon, more specifically QB and his particular affinity for very, very good Tachanka plays. We'll see if he makes any more of those today, ladies and gentlemen, as the match is now live and will be on your screens in a quick moment. A great game is sure to unfold ahead of us, and we will see that in the ban phase starting off, as Extremist Esports are on the attack and Monka S are on the defense. So, well, Monka S, they've been taken to Oregon, they've been given defense. We might just see a similar set of skills being brought out from Monka S right now, but for the time being, ban phase is what we have to go off of, and Thatcher will see yet another ban. Another day, another Thatcher ban, ladies and gentlemen. At this point, I think somebody should pull up a counter of how many times Thatcher's been banned in just this first week and today's day of play, as Montaigne will be banned second on the attacker side of things. Coming around to the defense, Extremist Esports have the choice of ban, and they'll ban Mira away from the side of Monka S, and Monka S have the choice of the last defender to be banned. They can keep Wamai, they could ban Clash, they could ban anybody, Maestro, Goyo, Jaeger, anybody of their fancy, of their choosing, and we'll find out exactly which operator that will be in a quick second here as the timer ticks down. It is Wamai. Not really unexpected per se when it comes to Oregon. Wamai and Blue Bunker Hold go hand in hand. So do Mira, of course. But Wamai just goes better when paired with Smoke, his own deployable shield, Smoke's deployable shield, and you've got a nearly unbeatable Blue Bunker Hold combination. With all that being said, we're about to head into round one, ladies and gentlemen, as a quick look at the rosters that are here in the lobby for us today reveals to us that we've got from the side of Extremist Esports, Z Panda, Gypsy, Round, Vortex, and X10, while from the side of Monka S, we've got Firefly, Jora, I Move to Lion, Ishan that is, definitely a noob, and a QB, and we're headed straight to Basement Laundry and Supply Room, and immediately a tinge of disappointment right there, as QB has not picked the Tachanka.
Attackers need to
Well,
locate
looks
and
like
defuse
Monka
the
S
three bombs
doesn't
if they
want
can.
to waste their time, and they want to make sure that they are serious enough to get a hold of this Division 1 stages. So, with that keeping in mind, we are going to see Jora playing as the Goyo. Most of the time, you'd see him playing as the Mute. You have those shotguns as well as the SMG-11 to make sure you get those kills as best as possible. Now, all right, with that keeping in mind, if you go back on the side of Extremist Esports, we did see Round making some fantastic plays with the Nomad,
10
getting
seconds remaining.
most probably like around 4 to 5 kills. We may be able to see him made an ace.
5
I
seconds
don't
left
think so.
before insertion.
But we do know for a fact that Round is expertly known for winning
Attackers
clutch
must locate and
situations.
defuse the
So that's the
bomb.
reason why
Attackers
Monka
drop
S
the
is
diffuser.
very attentive
Attackers
on this
recovered
team.
the
So
bomb
that
diffuser.
maybe we might be able to see some back-to-back wins coming in from both the teams, but we'll see what's going to happen here as we proceed to the action phase. And quite a lot of pings coming in, thinking of reinforcing the wall. Either, yep, there we go. They were actually kind of making a decision on whether to make it a reinforced wall or not, because you know you could, however, hold the angle right from the boiler's room towards the blue entrance. So with that being said, the attackers will, however, do the main things yet again, getting the access of Big Tower so that they can go from the stairs. And some of the attackers, if they do, however, make sure that the blue bunker hold would be that powerful, they would, however, execute on blue bunker and stairs and just go for the immediate execute. If that does not work, I mean, freezer is still in play, but the amount of time that the attackers have
Device in
eventually
position.
wasted pushing on that one particular position, maybe going for a different location would be a bad idea, knowing that you did, however, used quite a lot of utilities. But Yeah, we'll see what's going to happen here. Vortex playing as the IQ. The scanner will be there to eliminate one of the Valve's camera. And one of the C4 will also be expended, but unfortunately no damage will be done except the Jaeger, who is apparently in quite a low amount of HP. QB trying to be aggressive, hoping to eliminate the player who is currently holding on the blue bunker entrance, as we see the Maverick using his breaching torches to open up the hatches in the meeting room. With that keeping in mind, QB, he will be forced out to stay in the side, so he will do exactly that. With that, including the Jaeger, apparently pushing back from the boiler's room, and he will hold on towards the freezer. Actually, he won't hold on from the freezer, he'll just hold on in the boiling room instead. With that, quite a lot of minutes being wasted, and surprisingly, not even one man has gone down on either both of the teams. It's just going to be a waiting time. But here we go. The first frag comes in, and it's going to be Vortex eliminating definitely a noob who was currently holding on the side of Boiler. Getting that weakness would eventually give Extremis Esports an access to get in. Now with Vortex going down and Maverick exactly doesn't know what kind of situation QB is in, will get that kill and fall back from the basement. With that keeping in mind, the Jora and Firefly both are down from Vortex. And quite interestingly, the matter on this, the control will be on the side of Extremis Esports, as all they have to do is get in on the side, go for the plant. But that C4 will evade it. I move line with the double kill. Make that another one. QB with the angle right from the freezer, eliminating Z Panda, which leads to Extend all by herself. The push comes in from Ishan, and Monka S will win their first round of defense, winning basement laundry. Let's take a look at that ACT Fibernet's instant replay. Good attack coordination coming in from Exterminate Esports, but they did not, however, expected a flank. Extremis Esports, my apologies. But that flank coming in from QB, eliminating the Maverick, going back to the freezer, eliminating one more team from Exterminate Esports. Extremis, I do have to apologize yet again as we proceed to round 2. Second floor kids dorm is going to be the side.
Second floor kids dorms is the side indeed, coming up from the side of Monka S. A great first round from them. And it took a little bit of a side retake, shall we say. The C4 was fantastic from Ishan. And, of course, some great plays from QB as well. Speaking of the which, man has brought out the myth, the legend, the Russian defender himself. Tachanka is back in play. Curious to note, of course, that Tachanka rework was initially slated to come in alongside the patch that dropped today. But for whatever reasons, it actually has not, and looks like we'll have to wait a little bit longer for to await the Lord's awakening, shall we say, or shall we say second awakening, since he's already kind of awake and moving around. But all right, we've already got a lot of testing on exactly where the turret is going to go. You can see they've got the setup ready. They've got the shield being placed. QB, he knows exactly what he wants, and he is going to get it with that turret being placed on the small tower, excuse me, the attic buffer area before it gets into, of course, sight. This is going to give him angle on a trophy room entryway on anybody who gets inside of games room through that wall breach, and of course anybody who is pushing tower through tower into attic itself. Definitely noob in the meanwhile. He's going to have to be a little careful right now. There's going to be drones coming his way. At least one that's actually below him. I don't think he knows that for the time being, as he might just find a quick early kill for himself, especially if Round isn't careful. He's making some noise as X10 is here with the bell as well, and windows are being broken. This could turn out to be, kind of deadly for definitely noob. He has to be very, very careful right now to not get peeked, and he's got to be very careful on which windows he thinks these attackers are coming from. They know he's here now, and the information has, of course, been given away with the drone being broken, and the Nomad, you can see, is making her way back up to the window, to flashbang, and, well, alright, fragment comes in, and definitely noob, unfortunately, could not get away from that in time. He was pretty much cornered from all angles, and the man goes down. Round actually is going to find another one. Ishan is going to drop as well, as that is the Valkyrie taken care of. Big kills from the side of Extremist Esports as Monkas have been pushed back early. But still, sight is what really matters from the looks of things, as Monkas aren't going to be too shaken. The sight push hasn't come in yet. And Round is watching, he's going to see something. But through all that barbed wire, has he made out? That is in fact the turret of the Lord himself. QB is here and waiting for them to slip up. And there we go, the softball has been made. Will it be breached? Round's gonna find another one. Jora goes down. That was a long angle from the tower wall, but Firefly is gonna find Extend in the meanwhile. Shutting things off for the side of Monka S. QB and Firefly, last two remaining. Will the IQ drop? No. Some shots of fire. Damage is done to Vortex, but not a whole lot, as the C4 is going to be used for a rotate or a potential distraction. Vortex is going to see that. Which way is he going to peek? It's his choice, really, as another push comes in, but Firefly finds another one, but he will finally go down. The reflect comes in, and it's a 1v2 now. QB's found a couple with his turret, and he has to pull back, try and stay alive. Will he be able to? Pistol comes out. Does he know there's somebody in by the main? Yes, he does. He's done that. He's on a double. Will he find the last one? Not quite yet. There's 15 seconds and less remaining. He's reloading in a terrible position for himself, and he will finally go down. The Lord was not enough to make that clutch happen. Ladies and gentlemen, Vortex will be the one to take the round, but very, very well done from Vortex right there. The man was doing all he could. Unfortunately, didn't quite come out for them, as Extremist Esports will take round 2 on the attack, as we seen the ACT Fibernet and replay right there, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, second floor dorms in Dorms Main Hall will be attempted once again. And Monkas and Extremist Esports are currently 1-1 tied in no one's favor.
Well, with round 3 being in play and QB extending his carnage by picking up the Tachanka, and quite surprisingly, we will see a 6-pick. Not from QB, but from Firefly, changing from the Bandit to the Jaeger. Now, with Extremist Esports, we did see how well their attack coordination was, eliminating the Jaeger, who was apparently in the big tower all by himself. All the attackers needs to do was just throw the flashbang, making sure that there isn't any ADSs being present, followed up with a frag grenade, in which definitely had no answer. And with that, Jora, we actually did see some quite well plays coming from him, and also from Firefly, who was holding in from the armory lockers. With that C4 used as a distraction, he was exposed in 2 directions, in which he did, however, eliminate the ace, but not eliminated the IQ, in which Extremist Esports handled it out pretty well. Thanks to Vortex. The only question is, will Monka S be able to win this round yet again, with QB being played as the Chanka, or will Extremist Esports takes that advantage and hopes that Monka S will make that terrible mistake of picking that operator? With that keeping in mind, action phase will be in play. We're going to be seeing the same push yet again, round, and I believe one more operator. That would be Gypsy, who was repelling in the previous round, but this time it's just going to be round entering in the big tower, giving them the information saying that it is safe, and Maverick, all he needs to do is to get in to the attic wall, make a soft wall, and make sure that they can be able to push in, keeping that in mind that the Tachanka is still present, and also definitely doing the room work with the Melusi MP5, not the T5 SMG. That is quite unfortunate to see it for the Melusi mains, but hopefully it will do for now. With that, all they have to do right now is make sure that they eliminate the important players, in which Vortex almost finds the head of the QB, will be able to damage some, but won't be able to get the control of... Actually, won't be able to get the kill. I do have to apologize if I fumble some of the words, but yeah. With that, talking about the match at hand, Vortex still pushing in, knows that QB is still holding strong on the side of the attic, and Vortex will be here to relay some information, especially with the utilities. The pre-fire comes in, as QB is also low on HP. He really needs to be careful, as he is back with the turret. All he needs to do is find the weakness, but the push comes in from Vortex, exposing QB's location in. But here's the thing, Monka S has successfully wasted a lot of time on the side of Extremist Esports, and they only have around 1 minute 15 seconds left with no bodies being down. And just by talking about it, definitely he's going to take 1 and a C4 from I Move to Lion, eliminating round 1. Make that another one. Ishan with the double kill, eliminating Gypsy. Looks like Monka has the situation under control here. Definitely making some important plays as the entire team of Extremist Esports starts to fall apart. X10 with less amount of HP, with Z Panda the one has the diffuser in hand. Now the C4 still being trapped. It's being thrown from the armory lockers. Will be able to not be able to get one, but that pre-fire will eliminating Jora, which leads to QB definitely. And I Move to Lion 2 with full HP, and the Lord with also low on HP. With X10, he needs to be careful here as QB needs to make his points count, as Nomad's air will be able to fend off definitely, but that kill will be able to make sure that they have the control on the side. The attic push comes in, and that's going to be definitely, well, actually not from definitely, it's from Ishan pushing in right on the side of the attic. Now they do have good amount of utilities. All they have to do is to plant the diffuser, and definitely will be able to eliminate one, make that a last one as Monka S will win round 3. Let's take a look at that in ACT Fibernet's instant replay. What carnage that we'd actually get to witness on Monka S. For a moment there, QB was also very low on HP, but he did his job, making sure that the attackers won't have that much enough of amount of time in which definitely a noob who was currently playing as the Melusi gets the opportunity to push in, eliminate one, followed up with Ishan with a wonderful C4 right from the meeting hall, followed up with another headshot with the Vector, eliminating Gypsy, who was apparently playing as the Maverick, and all they had to do was to just hold to the side, and that's exactly what they did. Round 4 is underway, and we're going to be seeing Monka as defending on Basement Laundry as the 6-pick comes in, as Firefly changes from the Bandit to the Kaid.
Attackers need to locate and
An
defuse
interesting
bomb.
couple of rounds from the side of Monka S, and interestingly enough, just the fact that QB playing that turret seems to be working more of as a deterrent than actually dropping bodies from the side of Monka S. Today, it seems like Extremist Esports have done their homework, and they know what kind of Tachanka plays QB will be bringing out, and they know what not to do when in those situations. But even then, there's a certain amount of trepidation that goes into pushing an area where the turret is facing, because that gun, it may fire slow, but it hits like a truck, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what you have to be most afraid of when you're facing off against Tachanka. But I digress, as a QB is now playing the Maestro, a different kind of operator shredder in his hands, of course, the Alda, which is in and of itself an absolute beast of a gun. LMG firing that fast with that low recoil is going to be a pain in the backside for any attacker. And right now, QB is going to be manning that gun. We know his skills with LMGs already. He's going to be putting them to use with this one. But right now, he's going to use the bailiff to open up some lines of sight and maybe even some rotates for the time being, as a blue bunker push might just come out from the side of Extremist Esports. They're setting up for it. They have the Ash pushing in with the drone, sort of, as definitely Noob has been spotted. He's been given away, his position that is. But there's ADSs, I think all 3 of them in this corridor alone, which is going to leave the rest of the map a little bit wanting, of course. But, you want to make sure that Blue Bunker is as protected as possible. As there we go, that's one, and that's an unfortunate flashbang throw. There's going to be another one. Yes, there is, as definitely Noob will be flashed. He's going to have to try and make his way back, but X10 has not pushed, leaving the Jaeger safe to wait for the effects of that flashbang to wear off and pull back behind the shield already. Here we see a Maverick in his natural habitat, ladies and gentlemen, waiting to open up the hatch. But does he know that there's Firefly directly below him? For a second, I think that rogue piece of metal actually saved him, and he saw the cap of the Kaid, and he will actually take that kill instead, as Firefly is going to go down, unfortunately. One body dropped. Monka S have lost a big defender. Kai can be pretty good in a lot of situations, but right now he's, of course, off the board. More importantly, it's Firefly off the board. That Extremist Esports are going to be pretty happy about, and another one might just go down right on the Harry Potter area. Jora, he knows exactly how close he is to being taken down right now, but his feet just aren't spotted, and he will be able to pull back for the time being. As slowly but surely the breaches are coming off. QB is holding a long angle on the back stairs of Big Tower right now. Not gonna find anybody, but just will finally get that kill onto Jorah. But a push-up comes in, definitely secures a double. Ho ho! What a couple of shots right there. As the retaliation comes in from a round, he takes on QB. The Maestro goes. But that's a big one. Diffuse drop, and more importantly, how did Definitely Noob get away from that? As getting that first kill, I sort of get it, but how did he get the second one? I guess we'll never know, as Gypsy is going to take some damage as well. Definitely Noob doing so much work, as the drones are going to come in from the attacker spot where these defenders are sitting. But can they find these last two? The Jaeger sitting man, the shield has been a thorn in their side for so long, but there's a Valkyrie hiding. She's going to find three, oh well, two actually, as Definitely Noob was the one to find Vortex. Oh, beautifully done from the side of both Ishan and Definitely Noob. The Maverick had no idea where the Valkyrie was sitting. And that was a kill secured for the side of a round secured for the side of Monka S. They take basement laundry, as we did get to see that in the ACT Fibernet instant replay. I was just talking about the round too much to really call that one out, but regardless, we did see that the replay did happen, and we are now 3-1 up going to round 5, and this time it's meeting hall and a kitchen room from the side of Monka S.
Well, with that, we are almost on the end of the first half with Monka S 3 defense wins. But on the side of Extremist Esports, they did held their attacks well, winning on second floor kids in round 2. But with that, the site being on first floor meeting room and kitchen, this is the site where most of the teams, even including L2K, wins these sites against their opponents, quite interestingly. But will it happen though? Because, you know, on a map like Oregon, it is quite rare to see a meeting hall being picked and a meeting hall kitchen being picked, because most of the time you'd see dining room and kitchen being picked. And with the Monka S thinking that they would, however, win on this specific defense, I am quite curious to know how well that they're going to play the defense on, knowing for the fact that they have QB playing as the Melusi. I guess she'll use her Banshee's deterrent to hopefully make sure that the attackers, when they try to push in from the kids' dom, they would have a hard time gaining that control. And with that, QB using his deterrent nearly on the entrance of the kids' dome, I believe, so that if the attackers try to push in, the intel will however be made. But the attackers, the utility is nearby the vicinity of a melee throw, melee being used rather than using any utility to destroy it, which would give the attackers only it would only give the defenders some from some intel, but not the attackers. I do have to apologize, stuttering some words and also you know, ruining some of the sentences. But hey, just let's just head back to the matchup here, as Vortex playing as the IQ. We've made quite a lot of important plays, but unfortunately, being as the fragger, he is quite in a bit of a pickle here. With Jorah, he is, however, quite taken from a gun damage from either from the Ash or the Maverick, who's apparently made a breaching touch. He made apparently a little bit of hole right from below, in which Jorah took a bit of a damage there. With that, X10 and Round apparently in the garage, hoping to find bodies of defenders. But all they can do right now is to just drone out and figure out what kind of you know, angles that the defenders are playing in, especially with QB and the Jaeger, who has opened up the attic hatches. So especially if the attackers try to go for that push in, they'll be there to eliminate it. Meanwhile, Maverick holding the basement stairs, making sure that any flanks from the defenders won't be able to come in. But looks like there might be a 5-man push coming in from Extremist Esports, and they're just waiting for the confirmation here. Ace's Selma charge is being used to open up the meeting hall wall. And it's going to be a matter of minutes where they get the lines of sight from the defenders anytime soon. All they have to do is just go for the execute, just like that. The attacking of Monka as the C4 comes in, basically damaging quite a bit of damage to QB, as he will find one of the bodies. Will damage a little bit of the players here, but here comes the execute as X10 eliminating Firefly, and Jorah will be there to go for that instant refrag. Z Panda is here for the plant, and he'll make sure that he will shake the plant as Gypsy and Round eliminating 2 more. Doesn't see QB with that flank, and the plant is not
Attackers have
here.
recovered their
Z
diffuser.
Panda, who was apparently there planning on the side of meeting hall, and now it's going to be Gypsy who is going to plant. But QB is there to eliminate Vortex, which leads to Maverick all by himself. Whips out the pistol. All he needs to do is eliminate the last team, and Monka S will do exactly that. Let's take a look at that in ACT Fibernet's instant replay. My goodness, QB with that flank. All he has to do was just head back into that hallway of meeting hall, eliminating two of those teams. And Z Panda, who was apparently planting the diffuser, he only had around 0.1 or 0.2 seconds, and in that exact moment, the defenders, they just immediately eliminated them, giving the attackers no chance but to just go for an immediate frags. And with that, the first half rounds almost comes to an end with Monka S in a solid 4-1 lead against Team Extremist. We are going to be seeing them defending on second floor kids with a 6 pick coming in from Jora as he changes from the mute to the alibi.
Alibi being brought in
Defenders,
with the
protect your
6 pick
bombs from
means
being
that those
defused by
Prismas are
attackers.
going to be in play, ladies and gentlemen. And we all know Jora's prowess with a gun. The man can do a lot, and we can only imagine what he'll be able to pull off when the attackers are otherwise distracted with some very convincing holograms standing ever so still
Attackers
on
have
the
discovered
map
the location of
of
a
Oregon. As round 6 is going to see us go into second floor dorms for what could be the last time for Monka S, given that they win this match, of course. If not, if they go
10
to,
seconds left before insertion.
overtime, then maybe Monka S will come back here on the defense,
5
as
seconds
we will see action phase nearly begin right here. QB potentially going for a
Attackers are
spawn
heading out
He
to
does
the
have
bomb.
the
Attackers have
RG-15,
dropped
the
the
sighted
bomb.
pistol, but
Attackers
no,
recovered the
he is
diffuser.
not going to. As the man with that same pistol in the last round had a little bit of a messy finish with the Maverick, but he was able to get it done, and that's what really matters. The grade's going to go off from the looks of things from the side of Extremist Esports on Big Tower, as Firefly is going for a spawn peek early, but nothing coming out just yet. Firefly is still peeking that. He's still going for this. He will see the IQ. Does no damage. It takes some damage and has to fall back instead. The Capcan tried, but unfortunately it's not his day, as the man with the traps is just going to fall back. And who knows, he might just be able to get somebody with those EDDs that are littered
located
all
by
over
attackers.
the place. Extremist Esports are, well, they need to, work on their game quite a bit. They have had a lot of trouble. Early game, mid game, late game, there have been issues popping up here and there in their teamwork, their coordination, their intel gathering, utility clearance. They've just had an overall not the best time today. And Monkas have been sure to take advantage of that, but it's not like Monkas haven't made their own share of mistakes. It's just that they've been able to cover up for those better and take out Extremist Esports' players when they are making their mistakes. Extremists have not really been able to capitalize on the few mistakes that Monkas have made so far. As shots are going to be fired, Vortex tried to find somebody else, but all he found was the Alibi's Prisma, getting his position given away from the Italian distraction. Panda's gonna join his fellow attacker right now on the main bedroom area, as the Ace, of course, with his freshly nerfed Selma breaches, is gonna make an opening into sight. That's a tiny one. He's gonna crouch fall through that. He'll be able to, of course, but will the defenders let him? Firefly's got a good angle. He's solo on HP though, as he's watching that trophy entry. So along with definitely Noob, smoke canisters are gonna go off to try and just break up the line of sight that the defenders have right now. But do they know exactly where where the Capcan is playing? Do they have an idea of that white stairs angle? If they don't, then entry into sight is nigh impossible for them right now, as Round in the meanwhile is gonna take a bit of damage, not too much. He's still, of course, he's still, of course, more than healthy and happy to push, as X10's gonna start things up by finding one, finding two. I move to land, and Firefly are gonna drop, and it is now looking a little shaky for the side of Monkas. There's somebody on the flank, and he will get that. That is Malusi taking the kill, and QB's gonna throw the C4. Unfortunately, not gonna find anybody, as Jordan's gonna go down. In the meanwhile, plant has not happened. Yeah, plant has actually happened, and it's now post-plant 3v2.
Defenders have
Gypsy,
eyes
Z
on the
Panda
diffuser.
round, all
Attackers need
watching
to
a
protect.
very similar angle. And here comes a mega flank from QB coming in, and the counter defense is going off. He's gonna reload and peek as well. Quad from QB is gonna secure the round for his team alongside his teammate with the counter defuse from Definitely a Noob. We'll see that in the ACT Fibernet instant replay, ladies and gentlemen. What a beautiful flank from QB, the man himself, with the 4K on the Melusi and the MP5. Oh, beautifully done. That first kill on the Ash, that's what really started things off for him. The C4 wasn't able to deny the plan, but it didn't matter. Managed to sneak up the main stairs, went through the rotate on to the attic, and got a beautiful double kill, which opened up the counter defuse window for Definitely a Noob. Beautifully done, beautiful coordination, and a beautiful 2v4 clutch coming out from the side of Monka S, as they will take the first half 5-1 and go into roll swap. One more round away from match point and 2 rounds away
Attackers
from a
need to
victory.
locate and defuse as many bombs
Well,
as they can.
there's only one word that I have to describe QB. He is a beast. First, you do see him playing as the Tachanka and make wonders for their team on defense. And now, against Extremis Esports, playing as the Melusi with the MP5, makes a quad kill against Extremis Esports. Now that is quite an amazing performance being displayed here from Monka S, especially QB, who's making those quite the impression here. With that, keeping in mind Monka S on a 5 defense round lead against Extremis Esports. With the role swap, we are going to be seeing Monka S performing on attack, with QB playing as the Ash and X-Jora with that 6 pick. He will be playing as the Glass with the smoke grenade, I believe. I mean, you do have the frag grenade from the Glass, but you know, as a Glass main, you would apparently use the smoke grenades to, you know, combo it with his utility. With
Attackers
that,
have located a bomb.
actually, it's not his utility. I actually need to say Glass as his gadget. But anyways, keeping that in mind, QB has decided to be aggressive, and I believe he's already in the stairs of army lockers. No, he's in the garage hatch. He's just waiting for a particular opponent who will apparently stumble upon in the armory lockers. But sad to say that Z Panda and the other teams on the side of defense will be holding their respective positions. And yeah, one on the trophy room. Quite interestingly, we do see a Vulcan shield being placed not nearby to the entrance of the door which connects from the bedroom, but also a little bit behind, just to make sure that he can be able to hold on to both the armory lockers as well as on the bedroom. With that keeping in mind, Firefly decides to use 2 of those nades, giving them the indication that there isn't any ADSs being placed, and also need to be careful of a particular player. That would be the Melusi, who's apparently holding down the angle on the second floor kids, and that would be one of the C4s or the impact nade being used, and also Vulcan shields being taken out from the trophy room, which would give access for the attackers here. With that, the Goyo, he will be forced to reposition himself back to the kids dorm, in which the attackers needs to open it up. But Firefly will be there with that opening pick, eliminating Z Panda, and one of the teams on Extremis Esports, that would be Vortex, who decides to do the roam duty. With that keeping in mind, QB knowing that there isn't any players holding on the side of trophy nor on the army lockers, he will decide to push in by an unfortunate down from my move to Lion, as he is actually going for a revive. Will they go for a revive is going to be a bigger question here. Well, looks like Firefly will eventually do that. And on the other hand, QB with that monstrosity plays, eliminating X10. With them having only 50 seconds left, they only don't have control of the side, and Definitely Noob will be there to make things easier for Monka S to get in without having any problems in attack. With that, a coordinated push comes in from the attackers, as the Nomad will be there to go for the push. I move to Lion with that G8 LMG, eliminating Gypsy, which leads to the round playing as the smoke, the only operator standing. He has 2 of those smoke canisters, but it doesn't work out. Jora with that final one tap will be there to eliminate round, as round 7 will go to the favor of Monka S. As we proceed to round 8, it will be match point for Team Monka S.
Monka S are not stopping the domination train, ladies and gentlemen. Oregon has been there their place to be for today, as they have just completely shut down the side of Extremis Esports on all corners, making plays left, right, and center, plays that shouldn't really work out. But even then, it did. They did this last time to Bat Trip Esports last week, and today they're doing it to Extremis Esports, who are facing the music right now. And oh boy, what a game it has been so far. Interestingly enough, Jora bringing out the Glass. No surprises right there. You want to try out Glass, seeing as he's been buffed as of this patch, ladies and gentlemen. And now his sight recovery time, which is to say he can see through smoke instead of opaque, is quite literally almost instant. It only has a 0.4-second delay, and the amount of time it takes for those bars, which indicate how much you can see through smoke, how long it takes to go away. It used to be 6 seconds, now it's 12. Combine that with the fact that you only need to stand still for what feels like a millisecond to get your sight back, and that pretty much puts Glass back to what he used to be. And we all remember what Glass used to be. I don't think I need to go into any more details than this as to what a menace Glass used to be back in the day. He's almost back. He's pretty much 90% of his old self, ladies and gentlemen. And Jora bringing him out already proves that teams will be looking. Well, it is Monka S. You know, they aren't averse to trying out some unorthodox attacks and unorthodox strategies. But even then, Glass is definitely a pick that a lot of people will be looking at right now and thinking about for sure. There you go. Instantly. It comes back instantly. Oh boy, Glass is a scary operator all over again. Jones coming in from the side of Monka S to give themselves intel, as there is actually a roam. Jaeger, who is a Vortex, all the way out at small towers. I believe he's been spotted, as definitely Noob is looking to push in. Here's the Lion scan, as X10 will take some damage as well. And this is a deadly combination coming out from the side of Monka S. Sure, it's no Ying Glass combination, but a Lion in any team configuration, if he slots in, it's gonna work out very, very well. Ishan holding corridor, the kitchen corridor that is, dining, outside of dining room, excuse me. Just making sure nobody gets the bright idea to rotate into dining. And if anybody is in there, doesn't get the bright idea to rotate into kitchen. QB's coming in for support, as Monka S seem to be going all in on this flank push. X10 in the meanwhile, he's going to see the drones. Have the drones seen him? I don't think so, as he's just chilling right by the bunk beds of sight. Vortex has managed to move out, though. He is all the way out by the main stairs. Does he know that definitely Noob is here? He sees the open main door, and he will actually be... No, he takes him down instead. Definitely a Noob goes down. Vortex manages to connect, as X10 will take another one. Ishan falls. That is your Lion of the board. Now, that leaves the side of Monka S in a little bit of a situation. Vortex is still down, mind you. He could be taken out as C4 comes out. Will it find anybody? I don't think so. Vortex will be confirmed onto a QB, who is coming in for his team, starting things off. Concussors go out, not gonna find any ADSs, burning out whatever utilities there, and that pre-fire is gonna find one, but he'll be refragged onto instantly by the Goyo, sitting right by Trophy Door. Z-Panda comes in to take that kill, and now it's a 2v3, as Glass and Lion are the only ones remaining. Oh boy, this should be pretty interesting right now. 30 seconds remaining. Firefly watching a vertical angle. Jora trying to push up main stairs. They look a little unsure about this, but they might be able to pull it off. Scan comes out, and there's the flip side. It comes in. Will he find anybody? Smoke comes out to proceed the Glass push. Will he see one? He does, and that's the kill. That's one down, but X10 has found Firefly in the meanwhile, and we will find Jora as well, spraying through the smoke, as we'll see in the ACT Fibernet instant replay. X10 putting that MP5 to good use, knowing that the Glass is going to be right there. But even then, we still have match points secured for the side of Monka S. They are 6-2 up instead of 6-1, and the side of Extremis Esports are trying to mount a comeback. They'll have to go round by round right now, as apparently X10 has seen a bug or something, or maybe he could just be memeing in chat, as the Panda is for sure. But with all that being said, round 9 is going to be underway, and Basement Laundry is going to be the side of choice.
Well, that was an impressive play from X10, making sure that they would give some hope to his teammates, and he will do exactly
Attackers need to
that.
locate and
So we
defuse
proceed to
bombs.
round 9, basement laundry being this side. That was quite, that almost, scared me. But you had a round with the shotgun. He was trying to make a rotation. Next thing you know, out of nowhere, an impact grenade appears. Evidently taking a bit of a damage to round, but all right. I just have to, just calm down. I was scared for a little bit there when that impact need happened. I just did not expect it to see that happening. But anyways, let's just
10 seconds
hope
left.
that with Extremist Esports taking manners into their own account, hopefully they can be able to counter any push coming in from Monka S's attacks.
Locate a bomb.
Quite interestingly, we are going to be able to see 2 of these ADSs being placed on the doorway of the blue bunker. And most of the time, you'd place it behind the reinforced wall. But since
A bomb has been
Extremist
located.
Esports want to do it quite an interesting way, we might be able to see something quite happen magically. But coming back on the task at hand, QB already in the stairs of the freezer. Actually, not. Yeah, from the freezer stairs, he will be able to place 1 claymore, making sure that any of these defenders would try to push in. But unfortunately, they won't. But let's see what's going to happen here. With the drone was coming in from the attackers, making sure that there isn't any rumors presence being detected. They will, however, enter into the big tower with quite a lot of a damage being done on the side of Clash, as she'll be taking a little bit of damage from quite around. She is still around 75 damage, 75 HP left with that nade being come down. And it looks like Jora, he will find out yet another one, eliminating Z Panda. The glass being very fearful to his opponents, and looks like he will do exactly just that. Eliminating one team would give quite a lot of advantage, as 2 of those impact nades from QB will be able to do quite a lot of damage to the opponents here. Followed up with a pre-fire. Does he know that there is one on the boiler? Yes, he do. The pre-fire yet again from QB, eliminating X10, would lead around Gypsy and Vortex, the only players remaining on the side of Extremist Esports. Vortex, we do know that he can be able to make an important plays here, as the smoke grenades will be there to throw out, making sure they'll be able to get quite a lot of an intel for the Glacier. Quite a lot of pre-fires being thrown out from Vortex, making sure that he can be able to eliminate Glass while he is in the smoke, with Firefly in the electrical, waiting for the coordinated push from Jora. But he is kind of worried about that freezer push. But no, Round will be able to eliminate his own teammate Vortex, which leads to Monka as having the opportunity, as Jora will be able to eliminate one more, make that 3 kills for Jora, as Monka S will win round 9 on Basement Laundry, winning against Extremist Esports on map Oregon. Quite a lot of unexpected strategies on the side of Team Monka S, and also some appreciated plays from X10 on Team Extremist, as they did, however, try to manage to eliminate the teams of Monka S, but unfortunately they could not, however, handle QB's extreme monstrosity plays, total of 15 kills. Man, I did not expect to see that coming, though. QB with 15 kills, and that too on map Oregon. We actually did see him make that another huge beast plays against Battrip Esports, and now against Extremists. Man, Monka S, they're unstoppable, and they will never stop until they reach their goal, being the best in this division 1. Hopefully we didn't haven't seen them go against Union Gaming just yet, but when they do, man, it definitely is going to be an interesting match to see that. Don't you agree, Jack?
Oh, absolutely. It will be a very interesting match whenever Monkas gets to go up against UG, but that is a talk for later, ladies and gentlemen, as we are going to be wrapping things up in a quick moment, of course. The match between Monka S and Extremist Esports has just ended, and a beautiful match for Monka S again. 7-2 in their favor, as we'll be going in to relive the moment to check out the highlights of this beautiful game that we just had. Both games today, mind you, were quick ones, 7-1 and 7-2 respectively. But it's not to say that they weren't without their highlights, because they were, oh, this a beautiful play by QB right there. And of course, from Ishan to win the first round. Very, very well done. As round two was a little bit of a different story. Extremis Esports on the attack actually managed to take kids, excuse me, right there, second floor kids' dorms, of course. And they were, they were all the better for it, as unfortunately the pistol didn't quite work out for QB. He had to pull back, reload. He was in a very open position, and the pre-fire from Vortex was in the right spot. Coming back to QB once again, he was caught as one of the last defenders alive in round three. He did go down. It was a 2v2, but then there were some plays to be had. More specifically, I believe it was in fact Sean who managed to get those last two. Actually, it was definitely Noob. I had my I had my operating system there, ladies forgive me. But regardless, this match, it's been a very interesting one. Monka S have been taking round after round in the middle between Extremis Esports. There's 2 rounds. The 2 rounds that they did win, those were rounds 2 and 8. Rounds 3 through 7 were Extremis Esports' losses, unfortunately. And unfortunately for them, of course, those losses were too heavy to hold on. And that is why Mongas have taken this game 7-2. A beautiful, beautiful game coming out from them. Extremis Esports will need to work on a lot of things, really. Mid-round, late round especially, they need to work on a lot. Unfortunately for them, there's a lot to be had and a lot to be learned, as I hope they will going forward from this point. And before, of course, I pass it over to Baba Gusta, this round, we did praise QB quite a bit for that flank, but I have to ask, what were Extremis Esports watching? Why wasn't Nomad covering that reach? Why was there no flank watch? I guess we will never know. But with that being said, Baba, take it away.
Well, Jack, I do have to agree on that. Even with the QB with that excellent flank, with that keeping in mind, first QB was there to eliminate the Ash, then he goes to the Armory stairs. At least Ash should have given him the intel saying that he is coming in for a flank, and he needs to make sure that there should be at least one of the operators watching their backs. Unfortunately, they did not, and it actually led to a huge mistakes being made out on the side of Team Extremis. Although I do have to appreciate their way of attacks. In some rounds, they did figured out a way to get control on the site, in which we actually did see them entering into a post-plan situation. And also on round 8, where X10 made a 4K play, eliminating the entire team of Monka S. An impressive play from X10, but that was the only round that we'd get to see Extremis making those plays. And also on round 2, when they were defending on second floor kids. Now, in round 10, we did get to we didn't see a Tachanka being picked from QB. I mean, they did, however, picked it on round 3, in which QB, all he had to do was to just hold the side of attic, and Extremis Esports had no idea on what kind of entrance should they go inside, because if they do, however, get the access on the side of attic, the Chanka will be holding there, eliminating them. And also, if they do get a hold of control on the side of bedroom, there is the Chanka holding both of those angles, which actually led them having no idea entering on the site. And that actually gave Monka as an opportunity to hold their ground for around a minute and a half, which is quite sad, and also quite unexpected to see these kinds of operators being picked, and also a rise of Spetsnaz operators being picked here. Once on the side of attack, we get to see Glass being picked, and on the side of defense, we did get to see actually Spetsnaz operator on the side of defense. Yes, Atachanka. I do have to apologize. I kind of got.
Baba. Baba. Come on.
I just immediately forgot about the Lord. All right, I do have to apologize for that. I mean, you do had Capcan and Tachanka. I was kind of wondering if they did if they did pick Capcan, and then after that, I realized no, they actually, in the previous matchup, we did get to see a Capcan being picked on the side of Demon's Force, especially Tsushima Goat, who was playing as the Capcan on map Theme Park. So I do have to apologize. I kind of fumbled my intel and mixed it someplace else. But yeah, although jokes aside, Monka, as they performed it in an extremely well fashion here, 15 kills for QB, and
Oh,
also
yes.
My God, I mean, I just did not expect to see QB just picking off kills left, right, and center. And also on the side of extremists, well played from them. They did, however, manage to crumble some defenses on the side of Monka S, but evidently they did not recover it well enough.
Absolutely. Unfortunately for Extremist Esports, they will face another loss on their record. Monkas will go up one more win in their record, and that is going to wrap up the night from us here, folks, at the WD Black the Esports Club Pro League for Rainbow Six Siege. I'm your host, Blackjack, and of course, having joined me is Babagusta, our co-host, and our Eisen admin, as we will close out for the night, and we will see you with more division action tomorrow. Stay tuned.